Okay, so Discharge Meds to Beds is a wonderful program. The very beginning of these projects, maybe 40-50% of patients went home with medications on hand, but the majority of those medications were when the family go to the discharge pharmacy and they waited in line for 5-6 hours for the medication, and then that was linked to dissatisfaction. But currently, our Discharge Meds to Beds, our patients go home with medication on hand, and the average is like around 75% of our patient goes with that. Why doing Meds to Beds? The main reason is because you can 100% be sure that the patient has the medications, and the family won't encounter any barrier in the access of those medications. Don't take for granted that the family have money to pay the copayment. They have transportations to go to the pharmacy. The pharmacy that you are planning to send the e-prescribe have 24 hours attention. Or maybe there is pre-authorization, so don't take for granted. Just make sure the medication is at the time is at the patient's bedside, so the nurses and you could do proper teaching with that and make sure there is no barrier to medications access.
Especially in Miami, our patient population tends to need a lot more support, and so I think when the Meds to Beds idea came about, we knew that this was the perfect place to pilot such a study. So now on the other side, with as a senior resident and being able to have that security that as a patient leaves the door, that they have the medications and the ability to know how to use the medications and what side effects, all those things are in their hand before they leave. I think it's a huge benefit. And then from the chief resident side, now this year, part of my job has been to train and to make sure that interns who start every new rotation kind of know the system, know how to prescribe, know how the process works for getting the medications delivered. So definitely next year, as you guys start to use the system, reach out to the chief residents if you have any questions at all. We're definitely here to help you, and I think it's cool that you guys get to be a small part of this continued venture.
All right. Hi, my name is Daphna. Today I'm going to talk to you about our project called Meds to Beds. The idea is that we developed this project so that we can have all of our patients going home with their medications in hand. So the way it works is that as soon as you admit a patient, you're going to want to think right from the beginning what prescriptions they need to go home. So for example, if you admit a patient with an asthma exacerbation, right away put in your prescriptions for albuterol, Flovent, Singular, steroids, whatever you think they're going to need. Then you're going to want to make sure that you're sending it to the Jackson Memorial Pharmacy. That's our discharge pharmacy. Then you'll need to put in the target date in the comments and the anticipated date of discharge in the comments. Then as soon as you send your prescription in Cerner, you don't need to call the pharmacy. It will automatically be delivered to the bedside. There are just a few exceptions. So for patients who have Humana insurance, that's not accepted by our pharmacy. So that has to be sent to a different pharmacy. Also, if you have a patient who needs a safety net, you still send the prescription in the same way, but you also just send an email to the safety net email address, which is on our cheat sheet on the hub. And also, if you have a controlled substance, then those prescriptions need to be faxed to the pharmacy. Then you want to make sure that your senior resident notifies Leah and the discharge huddle about what prescriptions your team is going to need to go home so that she can expedite the delivery from the pharmacy. Now, if you can't remember all that information, that's okay. You can just go onto the hub and find the document with all of this information, as well as the hours that our pharmacy is open and phone numbers to contact the pharmacist and to contact Leah. So our newest intervention is that now actually when you discharge a patient, so you enter in the discharge power plan into Cerner. There aren't many things that you need to actually click there, but now we would like all of our residents to click on the box that says prescriptions needed for discharge, and there's a little drop down menu, and you can say either none or prescriptions sent to Meds to Beds, or prescriptions sent to a preferred pharmacy. And if you do click on the Meds to Beds, you can enter into the comments section which prescriptions you sent for Meds to Beds, so that the nurse knows exactly which prescriptions we're waiting to have delivered to the bedside.
Meds to Beds makes a difference.
Yay!